All right. Well, welcome to another evening of Live with the Shaman. I do know that quite a few people watch our pre recorded broadcast, and that's fine. 8 p.m. Central Time on a Sunday night is not always easy for folk to make it, and that's fine too. Tonight we're going to go on a little bit, though, and it's not going to be one for the kiddos' ears, I'm sure. We'll leave it to the parental guidance as to whether or not you want your children to watch this. But I can tell you that still today, yeah, today, 2018, the taboos of modern day society is horrifically pathetic, truly. Let's talk about some. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, intelligence, or forethought to poke around on the internet of today's taboos that are going on. It doesn't take a whole lot of forethought to listen to commercials, the news, things that are going on around you, to the way people talk. Now, my daughter has been taught to speak openly, to voice her ideas, her opinions, and what she thinks. So she comes in this evening laughing her ass off at a video of one of the groups in which she's a part of. And in this video, this woman has pulled this video down off of YouTube where this young boy, I don't know how old he was, doesn't matter, but she walked in on him and he was still streaming live, and I guess he didn't realize it because YouTube caught it. And she walked in on him masturbating. Ooh, gonna go blind. Your arms are gonna fall off. You're gonna get hair in your hands. Oh, masturbating. Ooh, I used the M word on an open channel. I may get banned. I may get reported. Ask me if I give a shit. No. I am shaman, right? And I'm a man. Go figure. Most shamans around the world, we tend to view things a little bit differently, a little bit more freedom, if you will, outwardly speaking. But I found this video that my daughter brought in mildly disturbing. Not that the woman pulled it down off the internet, but that this woman on the other side was chastising her son for doing what is completely, totally natural for boys and girls alike. Different ages. I'm not going to get into the age debates. Not my thing. I could care less. None of my business. But the fact that in 2018, in the day and age of enlightenment, this young boy was getting chastised by his mother for doing the most natural thing that there is. That just got all over me, but it always has. You'll notice, and those of you that are watching the pre recorded broadcast on the archives of YouTube, Pinterest, or Stumble Upon, or some of the other social networks, Tumblr, um, you'll have to muck on over to Live with the Shaman and look at the links that I posted in the chat area. These are some links of things that, believe it or not, are still taboo in this day and age. Women who have the issue with constant, continuous arousal. That has to be uncomfortable at worst. I tagged in some videos where um, women who cannot get turned on sexually at all. And then I flipped the page over to men that cannot get turned on sexually at all. And these things are still considered a freaking taboo here in 2018. It's supposedly the age of enlightenment. Some of these people need to turn on the lights because they're still walking around in the dark. Then there's another video that I found where a gentleman has the same arousal disease that some women do, and that is where his body will spontaneously erupt into an orgasm 100 and something times a day. Now, some of you guys may watch this and go, hell, I wish I could do that. Well, no, you don't. Because you'll be sitting at work, you'll be having dinner with your family, and all of a sudden your body pops an orgasm, and there's shit all you can do about it. Men who can't have sex because they have erectile diseases. And for some reason, all of these conversations are still taboo today. In the age of enlightenment, as the 2000s are said to be. Now, the conversation of taboo tonight, I kind of wanted to bring it up because this supposed age of enlightenment, human beings, parents, are still afraid of their children going through the natural progression of life. Some of you may say, what the hell does this have to do with shamanism? Maybe nothing. But I can tell you that myself and most other shamans that I have met have studied the human architecture, human lifestyle, human sexuality, human interaction in society. Shamans are very into watching people, listening to people, listening to their stories, the things they've been through, the things that they've experienced. And it is amazing to us the amount of closed-minded, taboo abuse that kids even today go through on a daily basis in the name of society. Yeah. In the age of enlightenment, we still have dumbasses raising kids. Parents chastising their kids for masturbation. Parents chastising their kids for wanting to understand more about adult behavior. And yet it just fascinates the shit out of me that these same parents are the same parents that are allowing their kids to play video games of people being decapitated, ripped apart, bodies exploding, killing people, uh, single shooters out to blah, to blah, to blah, blowing people up. But that's okay. Goddamn, don't let those kids learn anything about sex. Teach them how to blow people up. That's the society way. The things that are taboo today are not a whole lot different, and this surprises me, and it also angers me. Things that are taboo in 2018 are the same exact shit that was taboo in the 1960s and 1950s. Come on, people, this is supposed to be the age of enlightenment. Now, where do we go? I mean, how do we fix this completely, totally screwed up, not just America, but global society of completely, totally screwed up parents that are raising their kids to be completely, totally screwed up parents? And you know, at 56 years old, I don't think I have met or know anyone who has not endured some form of abuse or another. Granted, In many cases, the abused becomes the abuser. There are those cases, like myself and several others that I've known through the years, that the abused become to the point of wanting to defend the abused and help them through their situation. But the conversation of taboo, in many, in most societies, especially in America, swinging open relationships is major taboo, right? So when you get into taboos, you have, well, let's see. This is 2018, right? Let's think about the taboos of today. Masturbation is still considered taboos by most parents that walk in and catch their kids doing the very natural thing. Interracial relationships. Oh my God. I have gotten so fed up with people complaining of interracial relationships. Love has no color. Homosexual relationships. Give me a break. Love has no sexuality. Then there's the lifestyles, right? BDSM, um, dominatrix. All of these things are taboo still in 2018. Instead of just going, okay, that's their lifestyle. Rock on. Get after it. Whose idea was it to make all this shit taboo anyway? And what a lot of people don't understand, what a lot of people don't understand, and let's check this. You make something taboo, illegal. Oh my God, how could you do that? You make it so that it shocks society. Hey, parents, what are kids gonna do? Let me do that again. Hey, parents, you make all this shit taboo. What are your children gonna do? They're gonna go out and they're gonna do it because they want to see what's wrong with it. Yeah. And some parents come back and say, "Well, do you have kids?" Sure, I do. Absolutely. I've told my daughter, if you ever decide to smoke, don't hide it from me. You're going to get a job and you're going to buy your own shit if you're going to smoke it. If you want to drink, don't hide it from me. But remember, you come from a long line of alcoholics. I am a recovered alcoholic. Alcoholism runs in my wife's family. Alcoholism runs in my family. We've explained the dangers to our daughter. She gets it. Luckily, at this stage in the game, she doesn't even like the smell of alcoholic beverages. Cool. And when they came out with the e-cig, I quit smoking cigarettes and went to the e-cig. Best move I ever made. But we don't make it taboo. We give her the information, the education. These are the good points, these are the bad points. Drugs and alcohol, there really aren't any good points. There just really isn't. Especially drugs, you know, abusing prescription drugs. Here's the shit that can happen. Education. We don't make it taboo. Her sexuality, we've told her that is your own. How you do it, what you do with it, is up to you. But here's the education. Here's what can happen. Here's what will happen. Here's the good and the bad. You have to make your choices. So thereby, we haven't made this shit taboo, right? But I find it amazing that people today of 2018 are afraid to talk to their children about human sexuality, growing up, being bullied, being a bully, being abused, being the abuser. Parents throw their kids in front of a television and say, "Here, be a good little boy or girl and leave me alone and watch TV." And then they want to get upset when their kids are screwed up because their kids don't know what the hell they're doing. Well, let me think. Yeah, Sally said she had a bad connection, couldn't stay connected. Looks like upstream speeds are a little bad on Facebook tonight. Well, it's not going to be a real long video. In fact, it's going to be a very short ass video because this is more of a pet peeve of mine, not actually as a shamanic thing, if you will. Let's approach it from the point of view of a shaman, like I said a while ago. Shamans I've known through the years, we study the human animal. We realize, admit, and accept that the human being is an animal at the core. Yeah, okay, there's some vegetarians out there, but for the biggest part, human beings are carnivores. We're designed as meat eaters, we're built as meat eaters. Where's the beef? Eat what you want. I don't care. It's your life. Vegetarian, meat eater only, um, don't eat vegetables. We also research and look into and pay attention to, most of us, not all of us, human sexuality. What causes the action and reaction of human beings to one another? You get some that are very heavily sexually oriented. You have those who are very heavily anti-sexually oriented, also known as asexual. And the other ones are known as sex addicts. You have those that can have sex but don't want it. You have those that want it that can't have it for various reasons. You have those individuals, bless their heart, that are climactic 24/7. And I promise you, unless you've been inflicted with that disease, and I've known many that are, you don't want it. Then you have some that are inflicted with the diseases of unable to be sexually aroused. That in and of itself would be a curse. The inability to get sexually aroused, period. For whatever reason, whether it's emotional, psychological, physical, medical, whatever. The fact is still a fact. So when we look into taboos, I've spent the better part of my life, both as a very young adult to where I am now, to studying the human animal. I'm not degreed. I'm not, I give a shit about a degree. I'm not out there playing myself off as a licensed counselor, psychiatrist, or psychologist. And I'm not playing myself off as a licensed sexologist. Right? I am what's known as an amateur sexologist, and I am a spiritual counselor. I don't give psychological advice. Um, a lot of times I sit back and say, what do you think? Why do you feel like you're experiencing this? But when we get into these things of taboo, and we get into other forms of taboo that I'm not even going to mention here because then people are going to want to know my personal thoughts on some of these things. And they're going to want to go, oh, you're a sick bastard. No, it's my personal thought. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out and do it. It means my personal thought. My personal thought is consenting adults should do what consenting adults do, right? Consenting human beings of the age of being able to make the decision based upon their ability to understand the reality of the outcome, right? Many of you are not going to hear what I just said, so I hope and I pray that you'll hit rewind and listen to it again before you flip a cog, trip a trigger, or blow a cork. And if you do, I don't care. But these videos are for those who have an open mind and want to listen and maybe make them think, maybe I need to research that a little more. If you're one of those parents who would freak out if you caught your kid masturbating, maybe you need to ask why. Maybe you need to wonder what's wrong with you before you wonder what's wrong with your kid. And if you're one of those parents that when your kid comes to you and asks you a philosophical question and you blow them off and go, I don't have time for you. Maybe you need to ask what's wrong with you. If you're one of those people who everything that you don't do or you don't understand is taboo, maybe you need help, not the people around you. Yeah, short video tonight. Not many people online. Couple popped in, popped out. I guess they were a little offended by the topic. I don't care. I don't. I really don't. Because Live with the Shaman, we try to come up with topics that will make you think. Will make you think, maybe I need to look at myself. Maybe I need to think about my thoughts and processes before I call something taboo. Maybe I need to learn a little more about it. After all, it doesn't take a whole lot of research to see where most, if not all, of Christianic, Judeo-Christian philosophies come from. They didn't come from Jesus. They didn't come from the Romans. I'll give you a hint. Take a look at Mesopotamian. Check your history. Don't be in such a real big hurry to pull down a taboo when you've not done the research. And that is the whole point behind tonight's video. As a shaman, I try very hard not to judge someone or pull down a thought or taboo something until I've had a moment to research it, look it up, see what it's about, see what it means, and see where people are going with it. So here we are, Live with a Shaman, Sunday evening. Wishing you well, hoping you have a good week. And we'll catch you next week right here on Live with the Showman. Click like, click subscribe, or click dislike. I don't care.